Thanks, Ben. You're watching South East Today. Our top story tonight. Scared to go out, the 75-year-old left with broken bones after being hit by an electric bike. And deeply grateful to AI, the breast cancer patient who was diagnosed by a computer program. Hello, I'm Ellie Crisell. A 75-year-old woman who was left with fractured ribs and a broken wrist after she was hit by an electric bike in Sussex says it's left her scared of going out. Christina Marchand was walking to the shops when she was hit on the pavement by a teenager. Her family are calling for tougher restrictions on e-bike use, and Sussex police are investigating, as Chrissy Reedy reports.
75-year-old Christina was left with a broken wrist and multiple rib fractures after being struck by a teenager, she says, riding an e-bike at speed on a pavement in Brighton.
He did apologise, but he didn't stay around. That's been very painful. Couldn't lift myself out of bed, couldn't lift myself out of the bath, and the pain was horrendous.
Her family say the incident has left their mother shaken.
She's very depressed, she's frightened to go out, loves walking her dogs. Now she's frightened to even go and walk her dogs. She's walking them later on in the day. How could you not see her? And from behind, she had no chance. No chance.
It was Saturday the 19th of October around 5:15. It's a very busy spot. Christina was coming back from the co-op, walking along this very wide pavement when she was struck from behind by a teenager riding a Brighton and Hove electric bike. And it's not just e-bikes. In Bexhill-on-Sea, 77-year-old Myra was hit by an e-scooter as she tried to cross the road. 91-year-old Jim Blackwood from Rochester was hit by an e-bike along the pavement as he took out his recycling. He ended up with a bleed on the brain and died in hospital several months later. While Sarah Carter suffered a broken wrist and fractured jaw in Canterbury when she was hit by an e-scooter, also on a pavement.
All sorts of accidents are ultimately preventable. We know from countries like the Netherlands and from countries like Denmark that good quality shared infrastructure for pedestrians, cyclists and drivers is the most effective way to keep people safe.
These bikes, they shouldn't be ridden on the pavement, and it's young children riding them. I feel that nothing's been done to stop them. They seem to have easy access to them. You see them lying around everywhere, these bikes, and they seem to be able to use them. It could have been a lot worse for me.
Christine is still in a lot of pain and says she's hoping anyone who saw what happened will go to the police with information.
Chrissy Reedy reporting. Sussex police are investigating a serious collision involving two vehicles on the A259 in East Sussex. One of the vehicles caught fire following the crash near Hoo, and the road remains closed in both directions between Pevensey and Little Common. A woman from Sussex says she's deeply grateful after an artificial intelligence programme found she had breast cancer, even though she'd been given the all clear at a routine scan. Sheila Tooth's mammogram was rescanned under an AI pilot project, which found evidence of the disease. Our health correspondent Mark Norman explains.
Sheila is one of more than 2 million women every year who go for a routine breast scan.
I was invited for a routine mammogram in January, and in February I got a letter to say that it was all clear.
But the scan that said it was all clear was one of 12,000 reviewed and rescanned by AI software. Sheila was asked to go back to the hospital, and very early stage cancer cells were confirmed, and she went on to have a small operation to remove them.
There's a lot in the press about AI at the moment, isn't there? And a lot of scaremongering. But I thought it's just fantastic, really, because clearly AI is more effective than sometimes the human eye. And it must be so difficult to look at endless mammograms and actually pick up very small changes. So yes, I was very surprised in some ways about AI, but also very pleased.
These are called microcalcifications.
This is about spotting cancers as early as possible to give patients the best possible outcome. University Hospital Sussex, one of 15 trusts piloting AI in this way. Over a 2-month period, more than 12,000 mammograms were considered normal and then reviewed. The AI suggested just under 10% needed to be seen again by a clinical panel. 11 women were asked to come back for investigation and 5 were found to have breast cancer.
In our center, we had 9 of these cases, and to our surprise, 5 of them came back as positive for cancers, which two human readers didn't pick up on. So that was quite an interesting to see how we could utilize the additional software to work with us and potentially, as I said initially, increase the cancer detection rate.
The Hospital Trust now plans to take part in more national trials as part of the next phase of introducing AI into breast screening. Mark Norman, BBC South East Today, Brighton.
Finally, campaigners in Kent have demonstrated today as they try to save a family hub from closure. The future of the Seashells Children and Family Centre in Sheerness is in doubt as Kent County Council tries to save millions of pounds. Time for a look at the weather. Here's Rachel.
Good evening. Well, it's been another cloudy and relatively mild day. We have been seeing temperatures pretty decent for the time of year, though, and over the next couple of days, much more of the same. We've got these misty, murky starts to the day, lots of cloud around, but temperatures pretty mild for the time of day, and that's during the day and during the evening as well. It's a quiet picture behind me. We've still got high pressure firmly in control of things, lots of cloud around as we head towards the early hours of tomorrow morning. Once again, some mist and fog, and those overnight temperatures pretty mild. They're only dropping there to around 7 or 8 degrees, and average for the time of year is between 2 and 6. More of the same as we head through the day for tomorrow. Any mist and fog will be slow to clear. You might see a glimmer of brightness, and temperatures pretty decent for the time of year. Highs there of around 12.
Well, that's it from the late team. Ian Palmer, though, is back in the morning from 6:30. Good night.